promise. We're talking about promises, not just the kind of promise you make to clean up your room and then go right back to playing Angry Birds on the iPad and forget what you just said.
This is the kind of promise that God makes in His Word.
And throughout the Bible, there are a great many promises that God has made. Things that you need to know about to live the life that God has planned for you.
People sometimes break their promises because we're not perfect.
But God, He is perfect. And when He makes a promise, He means it. And He will never break it.
Dan, you are fired.
What? Why?
You know what you did.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Let me regale to you the events that happened this morning in my office. This is my office. As you can see, there is my favourite desk and my favourite chair, and sitting in it is my favourite person.
Me?
No, me. As you can tell by the piles and piles of work on my desk, I am snowed under. I have a lot to do by a certain date, otherwise a certain favourite person will get in trouble.
How will I get in trouble?
Once again, I was talking about me, but about you. You saw how much work I had to do, and seeing you had fulfilled your monthly funny quota, you volunteered to help me. It was a very generous act of friendship.
My pleasure, Dave. I guess that makes me one of your favourite people.
Dan, things were going well. We split the work into 3 piles. Not so important. Important, and so important it is protected by 2 bodyguards. Things were going great. I started working on the crazy important things while you tackled the not so important pile. Man, we were booking it. Productivity at its finest. I have never seen you action and file that fast. I've never seen you work so hard. In fact, I've never actually seen you work at all.
I really wanted to help you out. You seem so snowed under. I hadn't seen anyone that snowed under since I was in Canada in winter and fell asleep in my car and got snowed under.
Well, I appreciated it, and I couldn't believe how much work we got through. By the time I'd finished the super important tasks, you had not only done the not so important tasks, but all of the important ones as well. They were all filed as completed, and my desk was empty.
Well, what can I say? I'm here to help.
And speaking of help, I'm reminded of what Jesus said before he left his disciples and returned to heaven. He said he was going to send a helper, the Holy Spirit. You see, the Holy Spirit is here to help us in our day-to-day life, from showing us who we can help to showing us the right way to go.
That's amazing. Do you have an example?
Do I have an example? Do I have an example?
Dave, you were repeating yourself.
I am repeating myself. Hey, I'm repeating myself. That is because I have an example from today.
Today? But today was the best! We finished your work in the morning, then lunch, then I took you to play video games where we got the high scores in Dance Dance Revolution.
That was great, but when I got back to work, I had 13 messages on my answering machine.
Whoa, popular man! Calling to congratulate you on a job well done?
No. The first one was asking where the report that was due by lunch was. The next one wanted some information requested earlier. The next needed numbers for a film shoot as per the correspondence. Every single message was following up tasks that had been done and filed as completed that morning. I couldn't work it out. I was totally confused.
That is confusing. What turned out to be the issue? Did you receive all the messages that were meant for Lazy Bob?
No, all those messages were definitely for me, and I didn't have a clue what the problem was. So I calmed myself down and prayed for guidance. I then felt like I needed to check the filing cabinet, and there I found the answer. The Holy Spirit had gently led me to the answer. He was my helper.
So what was the answer? What in the world could have caused so many problems?
Well, Dan, you remember how you were helping me to do work today?
Yes, of course.
And you know before you file each task as completed, you're actually meant to do the task written on the paper?
Oh.
You had just filed away everything without doing any work!
You have to admit, it's efficient.
You are fired as my helper.
Am I still your favourite person?
Out!
God is with us. Jesus sent us a helper, the Holy Spirit. God promises the Holy Spirit.
The Holy Spirit is a person. God is Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. 3 expressions of God. And the Holy Spirit is God's Spirit with us.
The Holy Spirit works in our lives, guiding us, comforting us, and helping us.
In Acts chapter 2, Peter replied, "You will receive the gift of the Holy Spirit. The promise is for you and your children. It is also for all who are far away. It is for all whom the Lord our God will choose."
Before Jesus' death and resurrection, he was talking with his disciples. He was explaining to them that he would be leaving soon.
He told them that they would not be left like children without parents, but he would be with them, living inside them.
Jesus would send the Holy Spirit to be with them and with us.
John 14 says, "If you love me, you will obey what I command. I will ask the Father and he will give you another friend to help you and to be with you forever. The friend is the Spirit of truth."
God promises us the Holy Spirit, God with us.
Jesus sent us a helper, the Holy Spirit.